phrases, County Office of Education. Well, as a matter of fact, there really is not technically such a legal entity, if you want to think about it in that sense, as a County Office of Education. There's you as the county board, there's the county superintendent. How do you work together? Do you supervise him? No. Does he supervise you? No. Do you appoint, in this case, Mr. Myers, to a vacancy? Yes, you do. You have that power. But you work as a partnership, where the county superintendent under Education Code Section 1200 and those sections delineates what the county superintendent does. Under Education Code 1000 lays out what you're going to do. You were given then by the County Board of Supervisors some of your duties as a result of how those duties are transferred to you. So you work as a partnership with the county superintendent. Within that partnership, there's a give and a take, but there's some things that you do have responsibility for. I'll list a couple of them for you. You have responsibility, for example, to approve the county office budget. So you get the county office budget, you approve that budget. You make a determination as an appellate body to act on matters having to do with interdistrict transfers. You act as an appellate body on school district expulsions. You have that responsibility. You can adopt rules and regulations for the operation of the county superintendent's administrative office. You fix the county superintendent's salary. You do those kinds of things. The county superintendent, on the other hand, does different things. The county superintendent develops the budget which comes to you that you approve. The county superintendent operates certain programs, early childhood education, special education, community school, those kinds of things on a day-to-day basis. In another way, the county superintendent, and through those programs, is the employer. He employs, you have working here about 650 people at any particular time. County superintendent is the employer. Attorney General said, as you know, you can't go into closed session to talk about employees since you're not the employer, the county superintendent. So these are just examples, and like I said, there's 34 pages of this. If you want to sort through it sometime, I don't think today is the time. But you have your role, the county superintendent has his role. Both of you, you as the county board, are responsible to the electorate, to the folks in this room, to the folks out in the community, and they're going to tell you whether you did a good job or whether they're not happy with you doing your job when you come up for election. It's the same with the county superintendent. The electorate will tell the county superintendent when he comes up for election whether he is to be reelected or not. As far as do you have the power to discipline the county superintendent? You do not. Do you have the power to suspend the county superintendent? You do not. The role that the board has with the county superintendent is as a partnership. Neither one of you are in a superior position. You are not like a school district, where a school district has a board of education and actually employs the superintendent of the district. And the superintendent in the school district has a contract. And that contract then provides what the duties and obligations are for that district superintendent. And that district superintendent then is evaluated by the board, disciplined by the board. You're not in that position. You're in a partnership position. So I'm going to stop there and see if there are any questions the board may have of me, and I will do my very best to try and answer them. And if I can't, I will review it later and get back to you with an answer.
Okay, we'll open up to the board for questions or discussion.
So, Mr. Gerard, I have a couple of questions. In the El Dorado County Office of Education Board Policy 4250, see the drug-free work environment. It goes through and says that the El Dorado County Office of Education, which you just described as the board and the superintendent working together essentially, because there's no actual County Office of Education without
Yeah.
combination, shall provide and make a good faith effort to continue to maintain a drug-free work environment. To that end, a statement shall be published and prominently displayed stating that it is unlawful to manufacture, dispense, distribute, possess, use, or be under the influence of a controlled substance during business or after school hours at the school or any other workplace. It doesn't address alcohol, but the sign, and it does then later in section D, address the tobacco-free work environment as well. But our signs where you enter the school property says it's a drug, alcohol, and tobacco-free zone. Is this something that we need to add to our board policies to make it clear that alcohol is included in the drug and tobacco-free work environment, since we've stated that for the public and our students? Or is it automatically included in this under the existing board policy?
You know, I think it's been pretty common, and I think appropriate in this case, for boards of education to interpret their own policies. If there is a question as to what's a reasonable interpretation of the policy, you as a board, I think, should resolve that. If there's a question whether it's outside of the policy, it may be an appropriate legal question for me to address as is whether the policy is a reasonable policy, whether it's within your authority. But Heidi, in this one, I think it's squarely within this board's purview, and appropriately so. I think for me to get into interpreting your policies before you had a chance to interpret your own policies would probably not be appropriate for me.
Heidi, may I ask, when was the last that policy was updated?
March 7th, 2000.
2000.
Actually, April 4th, 2000.
2000. That's all I need. Thank you.
I think that's it for the moment. That's it for the moment.
Anybody else? Rich?
No, I don't. I have no conflict about these. I clearly understand our role. I clearly understand the relationship with the county superintendent. And I have complete faith that Jeremy will act in the county's best interest.
Okay, thank you. Debbie, you have something?
No, I have no question for Mr. Gerard.
Georgie?
I have no questions.
I second what Rich says. I think I understand the relationship, Carol, as it is presented in the codes and all that, and understand that and have no problem with it, so. Heidi, any more questions? If there's no more discussion, no board member wants to take any action, I'll entertain an adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all for your time and effort.
David, thank you for your
Yeah,
presentation.